Hello, good evening, and welcome to another show, April the 23rd. And this time I'm actually going to tell you the right year because I think last week we were a year behind 2025. Um, thank you, everybody. And thank you, everybody, for my birthday wishes. You've been outstanding. And so great love to you all who've mentioned me. Tonight, got a very, very full program. It's going to get very complex. Anything could go wrong. But hey, let's do it. Let's do it anyway. Um, we will have some good guests coming on, hopefully, and I can just see one of them appeared in the window down there. I can see it, Aoife. I just won't punish you quite yet by bringing you on. I'll do the uh, housekeeping before we do. Right now, then, I've been kind of wondering whether to throw this in there just as a new sort of item, but um, if we are try something new, buy something new, or do something, and that's what this program is all about. It's about people talking to each other about events, programs, things, just life in general. How to get more. Uh, I'm thinking maybe, you know, on this one, I'll just show you a little video that I did the other day because I have a product, and I'm not sponsored by anybody. Nobody funds me or whatever, but I just thought I'd show you this one because for me, this piece of equipment that I've been using has been really, really good, and I want to share that with you. And if you have anything the same, it doesn't have to be gardening equipment. It could be household equipment. It could be absolutely anything. But if you've got something that you particularly want to share, which you think is good, or maybe you've seen something on sales and which is a pretty good price. Just go with this one and just see what you think because I was quite impressed with it. So give this a go. Another good piece of kit is this Sterwin's 43cc brush cutter. Now the industry standard is still, which are marvellous machines and very, very good. But this has proven to be an absolutely reliable, quite a powerful piece of machinery that, to be honest, I've abused. But it just keeps going. It came with the harness and mixing bottles and everything, and has proven to be a tough bit of kit. So if you want an alternative, maybe have a look at one of these. It's quite a capable piece and very reliable. It's never not started, so what more can you say? So you put yourself a piece of land, and quite frequently it ends up looking like this. Your first instinct is to get a tractor in there, which I know a lot of people have done this and come to grief because basically you don't know what's hiding in that grass. There could be an old piece of machinery, there could be a well, there could be a trench, anything. So always best, although it's quite hard work, is to cut it down with a strimmer first and find out exactly what's out there to save yourself probably plenty of money in repairs and personal injury. So let's go and give it a once over with a strimmer. So there we go then, about an hour and a half later, 2 tanks of fuel and a couple of spools of line, and we've got to this point. Interestingly, we did find a few things along the way, a few hidden boulders and stuff. The grass was very, very wet, very, very wet and very, very dense, so quite difficult to strim, but the Sterwin's done its job again, impeccably. Good machine, never faltered. There are a few other places where we can show you things that you might not have seen unless you strimmed. Like there's a place down on the bank there where it looks like there's an old set of stairs, which you'd have knocked down with there and could have quite easily have caused a tractor rollover, I think. But yeah, and The strimmer's been in function all morning. It's not just done this, it's actually done a piece of land out the back where the forest is, cleaning out bracken and that sort of stuff. And to be honest, I don't think a tractor mower probably could have done any better than that. We're going to leave the grass verge because that's council property, and also give the butterflies to have something to play about in. So, okay, very pleased man. So there it was. I did that all myself. Hurt quite a lot afterwards, but I'm getting on a bit now. I'm 61, so yeah. Let's yeah. And if you have anything similar, whatever it may be, share that with us, and we'll put it up on the screen. So yep, that was just something I just thought of throwing there. A few more guests have turned up, a few familiar faces. So let's bring on somebody you might know. Here we go. These two nefarious characters here who I'm related to. How you doing, guys?
Who you call
Nefarious.
Happy
Nefarious,
birthday.
my dear boy. That
was very good the way you did that. Nefarious with the eyebrows and everything.
Do you like? That's the Bond eyebrow.
Delivery. And happy birthday, yeah. Happy birthday.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Get a present.
I did. Thank you for the CD. I shall be playing that in due course. Yeah, nice thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you. I thought a bit of Rolling Stones was missing from your roster, so.
Well, it's got to be done. I mean, there's probably not much in age that separates us now, so yeah, okay.
What's your favourite Rolling Stones track?
Oh, that's a difficult choice. I don't know. That's a big question for tonight.
I like Sympathy for the Devil.
Yes,
sympathy for the devil, not symphony. Sympathy.
Yeah. Gentlemen, right? I must bring on this lady. I must bring this lady here because she's waiting very patiently, and I've struggled so hard to get her on the program. I thank her very much for coming on. So let's bring on. Now, if anybody, because I know how to say this now, I think, but can anybody have a crack at that name?
I dare not.
I think if my memory serves me right, it's Aoife. Aoife. Yeah.
Perfect.
Which has got to be, it's got to be Celtic or something along the way, Irish, something along those lines, surely.
Yeah.
It's
the English is Eve.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Eve. Ah, right. Yeah. Okay.
It's actually a very common name in Ireland.
Right. But I see, I've never been to Ireland, so that's my excuse. No, and then we have a. Hello there. Hi, Ginny.
Happy birthday, Gaz.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Have you had a nice day?
Yeah, happy belated birthday. What day was it?
It was today. So you're not belated.
Today. You're not
you're
belated.
bang on the mark.
Oh,
mine's easy to remember because I'm St. George's Day. You can't really forget that, can you, for an Englishman or something?
So I have a question. Does that make you a Taurian?
It does.
Aha, I'm one too.
Yes. It's a good people, us Taurians.
No, he's from Birmingham.
Strong respect for each other.
We're very strong, very respectful, very patient.
Yes,
but when the patience runs out,
I'm afraid I have to agree with you. Absolutely. Right,
My husband's a Taurian as well.
Oh, two together. Oh, that's a potent mix. That gets the job done, definitely. I'm just going to bring on our other guest, Matty. Hello, Matty. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm fine.
We can hear you nice and clear.
Yeah, it's just that the dogs are around. And
the beasts, I bet they're giant size now, aren't they?
Well, they're somewhere. I don't know.
Right, let's get the program rolling as such. Right, Matty, I promised I would start with you, because we know each other. I've probably known you since probably when you first came to Portugal.
Even before.
Probably even before.
Well, with the man cave and stuff.
Yeah, we don't mention that word here. That's forbidden.
Say happy birthday, that's all.
Right. Yeah, Matty, I mean, I learned along with our friendship that you studied a pain relief treatment. Can I call it that? Therapy.
Well, I think in Germany when it's from Germany and I learned it in Germany, and in Germany we just call it pain therapy.
Okay. So
not
would you like to
pain
tell us a
therapy.
little about that? Yeah. Tell us about that. Yeah. Expand that a bit more.
Well, I can talk about this for hours, so I try to keep it short.
Give us the little bit then, the concise bit.
Well, a lot of pain that our society has is caused by the way we treat our body and how we move it, which is usually one-sided and not enough, and also not with enough quality. So the pain therapy that I do, we treat pain with exercises, basically. In a treatment, we find out the root cause or the muscle group that is responsible for the pain that customer experience. And based on that diagnose tool, we tell and explain the customer what exercises he or she needs to do and how they need to do it and what they need to pay attention while doing the exercises. And that's about it.
And what's
Usually,
the therapy called? What's the therapy name of the therapy called?
Liebscher and Bracht pain therapy.
Right. I'm glad you said that and not me, because I could have gone into terrible trouble saying that.
I'm also, as far as I know, the only one in all of Portugal that's doing that.
Excellent. Have you ever heard of this, Aoife?
No, but I don't speak German. I've never been to Germany. So whereabouts are you based, Matthias?
I'm in Lurisol de Campo. It's in the Castelo Branco district, between Fundão and Castelo Branco on the south slope of the Gadunia Mountains.
Beautiful. And your
actually,
place.
let me show you.
Yeah.
Let me show you around a little bit before.
It's a lovely evening. Yes. Show people around. Go on.
So, well, this is my ruin, and behind you can already see the Gadunia. And behind me, the field, that's all mine.
Excellent.
Let's see if I can get more view of the Gadunias. Need to walk on another corner. And it's so nice that we still have light and all.
And this is where you'll be setting up
there,
your...
There are the girls.
I can see them out there somewhere. They look for the two big figures heading at velocity.
Yeah,
He's got what Sarah Destrellas you got?
Sarah Destrella mountain dogs.
Not one, but two. Not one,
Yes.
but two. Big things.
So yeah.
So Matty, yeah, your plan will be to run your enterprise from there, in the therapy and beauty of that particular part of the country.
Yeah, that was the whole. Well, not the whole, but a big part of the reason why I have a 2.5 hectare piece of land.
Yes.
Is that in the future I'm hoping to be able to build like 10 accommodations for 4 to 6 people.
Yeah.
And the idea is that I will do what we call pain-free weeks. So you come to my property for a week or 2 or 3, whatever you want. And instead of making a family holiday to Mallorca or Italy or Greece or wherever, you come here, stay on my land for the period, like I said, week, 2, 3, whatever. And you bring your whole family with you, your partner, your kids, or your parents, whatever. And we will then have group sessions in the morning for hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. And another session in the evening when the temperatures are more forgiving.
Yes.
And the rest of the day, you basically have your vacation with your family. You can climb the Gadunias and do walks, or go on a mountain bike, or go to Fundão.
Because you're gonna be pain free obviously afterwards, so you can go mountain climbing.
Well, the idea is that when you leave and go home, that you are pain free and also have all the tools you need to stay that way.
Right. Will you do me a favour, Matty? Your website, will you post that up on the Central Portugal Connection site?
Yeah. Remind me.
Yeah, well, yeah, in private chat, I'll put it up there so people can see and have a look around your website. Now, you did a little favor to me, really, because I was suffering from quite bad sciatica. Just couldn't shake it. Really couldn't shake it. Whatever I tried, heat therapy or creams, pills, or whatever. And you did me a little exercise to do. And I must admit, I was stunned because I haven't really had that problem since I started doing the exercise. And it
Yeah.
was designed to equalize the pressure in the muscles, as I understand it. You pull the tension away from the joint and let the nerve have a rest
The
and
the the the
recuperate.
the thing is, in our experience from the Liebscheinbracht therapy, a lot of diagnoses are false.
Yeah.
Sciatica is diagnosed because you describe a pain that is there and moves or radiates down the leg or whatnot. And I think the doctors do the best they can with the tools they have. So it's not on purpose or what, but they just don't know why you have this pain and where it comes from. So the Western medicine makes pictures, if that be X-ray or MRI or CT or whatever or echo, and they try to find something that's not normal, they think, and then they say, oh, because we see this and that in the picture, that is because why you have pain. And we don't do that. We don't care about pictures or nothing of that. We simply ask, where's your pain? Point it out with one finger, not with a whole hand and not a whole area. I want to see, where's your pain? What point is it? Is there a position or a movement where you can trigger this pain? Yeah, especially for you, Joel.
It's a very simplistic way of dealing with things. But yes, I understand. I understand the theory of it. Equalizing the joint and in the muscles and the tendons.
Yeah, and the pain is often projected pain from the body, from the brain, to prevent damage or further damage of the structure of the body. And the body can measure if a joint has a disbalance in the muscles around it, so that the bones are pulled together, or just a wrong use of the joint. And to avoid more damage, usually the pain is on the opposite side where the problem is.
Interesting.
Classic example: you drive very long in your car and you want to get out, get for gas, and you want to get out, but the moment you try to get up, you have pain in your back, and it takes a couple minutes, and then finally the pain is gone and you can stand up straight. Problem is not your back. The problem is you were sitting a very long time in a short position where your stomach and your upper leg muscles are in a short position, and they are just not ready to get extended, and that's why they refuse. But you still want to get up, so your back muscles pull, and that causes wrong pressure in your spine, which your body can measure. And to avoid damage, you get the pain in your back, so you stop with the movement to go up until the front has time to get longer.
Makes sense.
Hi, Bob.
It does make sense. It does make sense. I think Joel might be past help by the sound. It was using a jackhammer on his joints. Yes, fascinating stuff there, Matty, and probably will resonate quite a lot with our other guest, Aoife. Now, I'm just going to come back to you, Aoife, because you're a woman of many talents, and I think our paths crossed a few times over the time I've been here. Last time was, if my memory serves me right, when we had the little thing at the town hall with the lithium mining. I mean, you don't mind being a bit verbal, do you? I mean, you can really stand it with the best of them. And you are a how can I say? Can I say Renaissance woman? Is that the right term? Because you got a lot of things going on in your life, and you're really not frightened of integrating and going in there, because if my memory serves me right, you used to also be in the Bomberos, didn't you? Yeah, I see. Now that takes a big, massive step for me, and a big respect for you. So maybe you want to tell us just a little bit how you got here to Portugal and where you are now.
Yeah, so I thank you for having me on first.
Pleasure, absolute pleasure.
Yeah, regarding the mines and things like that, that brought out a side of me that I will never do again. So that's so probably the reason I've got a lot is because I've been here 17 years. So I've got a lot of different things. I've done a lot over the 17 years being here, I suppose. With the Bomberos, I was with them for 5 years, which was really nice. Yeah, so I'm in Alveazra, very small little village. Brought my 2 children up here. When we got here, they were 8 months old and 3. So they are now 18 and 21. And actually, from last week's show, Ben, my daughter actually works in Villa Galay in Coimbra.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't know if she served you. She looks like me, but with blonde hair. She's a bit taller than me, but that wouldn't make a difference on the camera. But yeah, so she works in the bar and restaurant up in Villa Galay in Coimbra. My other daughter's about to finish school. What else would you like to know about me, Gary? I'm not great on these, which is why it's hard to get me on the programs.
No, I mean you're doing fine now. You're very modest. I mean, you also do many other things. I mean, you've moved on to doing a few therapies yourself along the way.
Well, yeah, I suppose I'd like to follow on a couple of things that Matthias said, because I'm
Please
a
do.
myofascial expert. That's what I focus on: myofascia, scar tissue work, and trauma release, craniosacral work, so spinal cord injuries, things like that. I'm probably about 24 years into my career, roughly, and quite intensely and full time for 15 years or so. But what he was saying about moving and in the car is really interesting. You should move every 20 minutes. Yeah, so if you've been sitting working at your desk, because it's also what Matthias said about the stuff coming from your brain. The brain sends messages. Oh, she's been sitting in this position for 20 minutes. We need to send a bit of protection or padding or whatever it is that you need. So if you don't move, then you'll get a buildup of tissue. It's kind of adipose tissue, or the fascia will tighten up. So if you just get up and do 10 star jumps and then go back to your desk. I know one lady who's a therapist friend of mine, and from the age her kids sort of went onto laptop or tablets, and she had a timer set on the program. So every 20 minutes, the kids had to get up. So because she programmed them at such an early age, by the time they were 10, they were like, oh, just getting up every 20 minutes. It was part of their routine, which is kind of, I've also written a book, which I'm going to show you. So it's called The Art of Unwinding the Secrets of Fascia from Pain to Relief.
And where can we get that from? Is that just generally available, or is it special order, or?
Yeah, special order, really. Yeah, because of Brexit, I took it off my website because people were going, oh, I just put France on it because I couldn't post it to the UK. And I'm like, I still couldn't send it to them. So yeah, so I've got a few copies. I'm going to try and digitalize it soon. I've only got a few copies left, but I've got really nice posters and I've lots of them. And basically the book in a nutshell was, I've got loads of books all about trigger point work, soft tissue, clinical massage, pathologies, and they're huge. And I wanted to create something small so people could understand how to care for their body. And it's again what Matthias said, is that maybe you need to stretch, maybe you need to strengthen, maybe you need to mobilize. Well, everyone generally needs to mobilize, okay? But whether, for me personally, I love to do yoga. What do I actually need? I need to do fitness. So generally the fitness bunnies, they're really strong and muscular and it's great and they love the gym. But then if you see them stretching, they're really tight. and it's kind of about finding that balance. So the body, like what Matthias said about, say, for example, around the hip joint, are all the muscles and the fascia, are they all in the right place, or is there one pulling the hip out of place? And I really stress a lot in the book about, lots of people go to see osteopaths, and osteopaths have their place and they are very good. But what I try to make people think is, say your spine's like this, now one of your vertebrae is sticking a little bit that way, it's causing you some pain. What is actually making that vertebrae stick out? What's pulling it out of place? It's not the bone. The bones are not flexy like that.
Yeah.
So it's the soft tissue around it. It's the muscles, the fascia, the tendons, the ligaments, things like that that pull it out of place. So that's fantastic. Get it all cracked, get it all in. But if the osteopath doesn't address the soft tissue, that will only last for a certain amount of time, and that depends on everyone. Everyone's very different. And then eventually that muscle will slowly pull that vertebrae back out, or the arm, or whatever bone we're talking about. So that's really, really important. And I think some of the other things Matthias was saying, which I really focus on, is predictable muscular pain patterns. Do you know about that, Matthias? I'm sure you do. It's
probably not with this word or term, but that's what we do.
Yeah, so like, say for the scalenes, which is the muscles here, there's 3 muscles. A lot of people get diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome. Yeah.
Yep.
Is that right? So everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm on the computer.
I've cured many in 10 minutes.
I know. Well, not, I don't know how long it takes. It depends on the person, but yeah. But they go and have the surgery, and then they still have the problem because nobody's looked at the neck. It's actually coming from the neck. So the scalenes has a predictable muscular pain pattern.
Not in my experience from the neck. It's the short muscles from in the arm. But the surgery is still useless because it cuts through a tie wrap that's holding together the muscles and the ligaments, and they just cut it open to make more space. And since the root cause is not addressed, it's only get worse, and then there's no operation anymore, and the people have the same pain again.
I wish somebody would have told Linda, because she had both hands done. Linda did, both wrists.
I told you years ago.
You get a build-up of more scar tissue, which means they have less space. So let me just see if you can see this on here. Ooh. This is in my book.
I'm going to put your full screen.
Scalene.
There we go. That will help a little bit.
So this is the scalenes muscle. I just have to make sure. And that's the predictable muscular pain pattern. And you can buy books on this. So I just took, and that's the stretch.
Oh, I'll do that.
Okay, so you see that's a muscle in your neck that causes that pain pattern. You see it?
Yeah.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Well, you wouldn't think that, would you? But that's part of I actually do that little exercise because my neck gets a bit stiff in the morning, and I remember my physiotherapist saying, well, just do one of those stretches where you do the side pulls and the stretches. So maybe I'm helping someone else along the way as well. So yeah, well, you wouldn't think that.
How long do you hold your stretches for, Gary?
Probably about 10 seconds on the one side, 10 on the other, and then do a few repetitions.
Look at both of our faces.
No. Okay, no, put me right then. Put me right then.
45 seconds minimum.
45
to a minute.
God, I'll probably go into a ball of cramp by then.
How long? What's Matthias saying?
Well, the thing is, the soft tissue, the fascia, doesn't even start to stretch before 30 seconds. So our exercises are usually at least 2 minutes, 2.5.
Oh wow, that's probably. Ooh.
And if you cannot do that, you are pulling too much, because if you stretch too much, your body will start countermeasures, and all the stretching is for none. Yeah, so it's not how hard you can stretch, but how long you can stretch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'll put that right tomorrow then.
And not really fast seconds, Gary. Nice and slow. I did a lot of this work in lockdown. I did a lot of I called it physio online, where it's just all the stuff out of my book, teaching people how to release different muscles with tennis balls, teaching them how to stretch, mobilizing, that kind of thing. And it was that's it. And before you go into the stretch, take a deep breath in and then out. And then as you come over and then hold it for 45. Perfect. I'll let you do that, Terence. I'm just trying to think, Gary, you wanted to know. It's another thing I would like to talk about, and that's because I know there's a lot of new people in the area, and it's something that I'd like to happen. I teach children story massage.
Story massage?
And I know there's a
what's that then?
So
That's
it's
interesting.
it's where they learn like different moves, 10 different moves, and then they massage each other while they tell a story, like Twinkle Twinkle, or some. It's very, very cute.
Oh wow! I mean, that's something I've never heard of. I mean, yeah, that's fair play. That's a new one. And how
look it up online. It's called Story Massage, and it's all on my website. And I did a bit of sound work with the kids, talked to them about crystals, teaching them about just general things, nice things that help you relax, really.
Well, that's a very good point, because it's not just about us old crankies who with our aches and pains. Kids have their own little unique problems as well, which is nice if you can get them into that mindset to sort of accept there are other alternatives other than painkillers or whatever, or that is a lovely thing to be doing. Very, very good.
But where I see that going, because I think you said you had something else with another lady with kids, wanted to do stuff with kids. I'd like to do it where I go into places maybe once a month, where the kids learn new things, new moves, where they practice stuff. I think that would be really nice. But I haven't put enough energy into really launching it, I suppose. I just want to kind of. My kids are about to leave home in September, so I'm kind of holding out till I've got a little bit more time. There was also, can I mention something about last week's program when Pelly was on?
She was great. I love Pelly. I thought she was absolute fantastic to talk to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you're freezing. You're freezing. Hope we're not going to lose you.
Fingers crossed.
While she comes back, you two up there, I've been watching you doing your exercises, and how is that getting to you?
Feeling warm, feeling relaxed. I quite like doing that one.
Yeah.
Or this one, I understand what she's saying about the neck.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of problems like with the neck, and I do. I mean, I do a fair amount of sort of exercise and a little bit of weight training. Not because I enjoy it. I don't like it at all. But it's actually good for diabetics to do. So I do that.
Well, keep in mind when you work with weights, that usually strengthens your muscles, which also means they will be shortened.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad for me because I'm quite short anyway. So that gives me a nice synergy.
Aoife, we lost you for a couple of seconds there, so you're back now. You were just about to tell us something important there.
Yeah. So when Pelly, I know you were all talking. What should Pelly do? You were asking a lot of questions, and something I really wanted to add to that was that every musculoskeletal problem has a 10% visceral component, which means visceral is your internal organs,
Yes.
So, and your fascia and all of that. So, and in your stomach. So even if I could get you 80-90% better, going to see Pelly would just benefit the whole thing and just get that last little bit. Where it's not about, lots of people ask me, oh, what should I do that, and I said, we have to keep trying different things. And if you try a therapist for like 3 treatments and you're benefiting, then that's good. If it doesn't really do anything, try something else, because maybe you need something else, and maybe you only need that person for a few treatments and then you need to do something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Perfect sense.
Yeah.
But it's that term holistic, isn't it? It's not just about that particular point. We've got to look at whatever is causing the problem. Look deeper to whatever the cause might be. So I totally understand that, and I'll go with that 100%. So,
and also, when you mentioned about sciatica, that it's inflammation as well, mostly inflammation and a bit of a tight butt maybe, but that gets also very confused with the tight glute minimus muscle. So if your pain is coming down the back of your bum, it's sciatica. If it's coming the side of your leg down to the outside of your foot, then it's the glute minimus. So, and I think what Matthias was saying about, I believe, the scans, all of that, they're very useful, but they haven't got clinical training. They haven't got that training. They're great for medicines. They're great for their part, And then you go and see the specialist who's trained and worked in that for 20 odd years, isn't it? That's,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's a very good point. Very good point. I've got a question.
There was another thing.
I've got a question here.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you can read that. Can you see that on screen?
We can.
Is there a method to realign the tibias after hypertension? I cannot squat because my leg won't begin to bend far enough after a lot of work on it. So it's obviously some problems with the old tibia there. Any tips for that you could possibly give her?
What kind of work have they had? That's what I'd ask first.
That's a good probably. And maybe physiotherapy, presumably, is what we're talking about.
Maybe, yeah.
Expand on that if you will. Nubianet has seen a few of Matty's videos. They help to feet, which is good. Always good to have your feet get up and go.
For people that cannot come to me, I usually send out YouTube videos that are made from the headquarters in Germany. And nowadays, YouTube is able to at least give you subtitles in your language. And my own channel, they even dub me. So my mother can hear me in German, which is not my voice, but it works. I mean, for this kind of thing, if you want to know what the person is saying to do an exercise and get all the pointers, it's really helpful. And people I cannot visit, or they cannot come to me, or like Nubi, she's in America. That's the best thing I can do for them. And I'm always there for questions if there are any questions after the video.
Okay.
So, yeah.
If either of you want to put your details up on the Central Portugal site, please do, and I'll pass those over and spread them far and wide as I can.
I have one more question for Bob. Not only what kind of work has been done on his tibia, also how long ago?
Yeah.
Because that's also a factor.
We've got another couple. Yeah. There we go. I can answer that question for you. I've done physical therapy, stretching, squatting with a wall ball, towel behind the knee, etc. Is that standard practice, or is that just something he does in his spare time?
I still don't know what actually the problem with his tibia is. Is it that he cannot bend it, or that he cannot bend the knee, or it's difficult to do this via the chat?
He's saying that his leg won't bend far enough. So presumably he's got limited mobility in that particular leg.
Basically, when he kneels, he cannot sit on his heels. That's what you're saying.
I wouldn't know. What he does on a Wednesday night is his own business. I don't know. I'd have to answer that one.
Would you not say, Matthias? He said he's worked on the back, like on the gastrocs and the soleus probably, but maybe they actually haven't worked on the tibia.
No, I am.
Maybe
I have to actually lay hand on him.
Exactly.
To actually find out what's the root cause, but it could be the quadriceps that's too short.
Yeah.
Or basically because
another piece of information: the head of the tibia seems to be out of place, so we got a disalignment.
See, that might be the case when you've had a lot of physical therapy. That might be a case where you go and see the osteopath, but directly after the physical therapy. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can't get below 90 degrees. So it could be a whole lot of other things. So it's kind of where you want to be, I suppose. So one of you guys is an extra set of eyes to give a bit of advice, so that's useful.
Where is
Matty?
Bob based? Is he near Matthias or near me?
No, Bobby's right up north in Ponte de Lima.
Okay.
But he does pop down here occasionally, so he might come over for a bit of a treatment. And then the other question I'm going to ask you guys is, you obviously do the hands-on stuff, and you do the, you use your training. But do you ever have any sort of diet-related advice for these sort of things? Is that something you throw in there as well?
The what do you call it? The food, the way what you put in your body can also have a factor, but basically more about if your body is too acidic, which has another issue on the pain thing, because not something like, oh, don't eat that because that causes that pain. No, that's not the case.
I would. I'm actually studying nutrition, so I can advise people on their lifestyle, because I realised that my hands-on work is not enough, and the food is so terrible nowadays that people are buying in the supermarkets. And obviously, I'm only in the middle of the study, so I don't really want to say too much. That's not my field of expertise. That would be somewhere where I'd say go and talk to Pelly right now, or I've got another neighbour who's a qualified nutritionist. But the best advice I can take you halfway through the course is give up wheat, give up milk, and give up sugar. And I'm sure you'll be fairly healthy without them 3 things in your diet.
Terence, can you add some on that?
I was about to say, you've done a bit of this with your diabetes, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had stunning results with my diabetes. I got really bad. In fact, I thought I was on my way out, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And some time ago, sort of contrary to medical advice, I kind of took the matters in my own hands and thought, well, I've only got that roll of the dice left. So really what I did was, like you say, took all the wheat, the sugar, flour, bread, potatoes, pasta, all kind of starchy stuff out, and obviously sugar out of my diet. And I really feel so energized now and so good. My insulin levels dropped considerably. I use probably about a third of the insulin I used to use. And I can do so much more. I feel like I've got my life back, I really feel energized and in control. And I felt out of control because there's this awful correlation between the diabetics get into. They use insulin, which makes them fat, because it's a fat producing hormone. They eat more, so they need more insulin to control what they're eating. And your weight goes up, your insulin usage goes up. And it's a terrible, terrible thing. It's a terrible trap. And there's so many problems associated with, large levels of insulin in your body, that you basically, when you get to a diabetic state, it's all broken down. Your body can't cope anymore. And that's what modern life is doing to us. We're not really meant to eat sugar. We're not really meant to eat wheat. But you see, we've been sold this thing about you must eat fiber and roughage, which is all well and good, but we're not really meant to eat wheat because it just bloats us up. In the old days, and I'm talking about in the Stone Age and before, did we really eat all these things? No. And we have to go back to that kind of way of eating, and the food industry doesn't like it at all because they can't make a quick profit out of us. It's terrible for people, really. And the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry wants to sell more products based around controlling diabetics and diabetes. And really, I think there's a hell of a lot of money and sort of big pharma behind it, and misinformation. And really, you can do a lot of it yourself, which I didn't realize, because I followed the advice of my doctors almost to the letter. and it proved very wrong for me. And now I feel like if I've taken control of it, I feel a hell of a lot better. I've lost probably about 17 kilograms in weight, and my sugar levels and everything are pretty good. Everything's under control, but really it's because I just decided to steer my own course. But that was because my back was against the wall, because I was really very.
And that's such a lovely story. It really is, and that's what and that's what I'd like more and more people, you know. And when you said about the wheat, it was actually obviously because I'm studying 1969 that they genetically modified it, and that's when we should have stopped eating it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of things I've learned about milk and why we can eat it up to about 3 because we should be lactating. After that, we can't. Sorry.
But the milk you're able to eat till you're 3 is the mother milk, not the milk of a different species.
Yes, very good point.
Exactly.
Very good point.
Yeah.
Now here's a nice little comment from another broadcaster, one of many talents himself, Raphael. The slight change in diet can make a major difference. Super important, regardless of whether a person is diabetic or not. Well, that's probably true. And adding to that, it's not we're not meant to eat sugars. It's just we're not meant to eat in the high amounts that we do. Well, very true. A few berries or dates should be all that we use as a quick reward for the brain. It's processed sugar, isn't it? That's the killer, really, because
I mean anything
not only processed sugar, all the processed food we stuff in ourselves.
Yeah. Also, I wouldn't mind actually saying, because I've done lots of people have cholesterol, high cholesterol, and it's been bothering me. Let's say it that. And lots of people are on lots of drugs to lower their cholesterol. And through my research and studying at the moment, you know, I think everybody knows the body's made of water, yeah? So what is the main liquid in your brain? Do you know any of Gary? Do you know?
No, it
Terence,
escapes me.
you might know.
Well, I think what you're alluding to,
I
don't know, but is that cholesterol is good and bad, and really, as long as your diet's okay, you may have what they call high cholesterol, but it's not a bad thing. The body makes a lot of cholesterol, and it's a natural process. It's not too bad. You know, we're told, oh, you've got high cholesterol, you've got high cholesterol. It's not as bad as having high sugar.
So what I've learned, and obviously I am in the study stage, is that the bad cholesterol, let's say, it's actually is a protein, and its job is to carry fats to the brain, because the brain liquid mass of the brain is fat, is not water.
Oh wow.
So if you start looking at the studies, if you go a bit deeper into this, if you look at the rise in dementia and the taking of tablets to lower your cholesterol, there's a real parallel with that. So try drinking also, because Terence, you've just said amazing things about all the changes. Eat some more fats as well for your brain.
Yeah.
Coconut milk, like the cans coconut milk, that kind of thing. Yeah,
it is good for you. You know,
it's good for you. I know.
we were told by the industries, because of basically economics, that fat's bad for you, salt is bad for you. Yeah. So what did they do? They packed foods full of sugar, because that was the only cheap thing left that they could pack.
And milk.
And milk, yeah.
It's very sad, isn't it?
No good for us. It really isn't. I mean, I think Northern Europeans can get away with drinking more milk because they have, and some African tribes, because they've been brought up with and developed this milk consumption and usage. So their body, in some effect, has got used to it. But if you look at, say, Asian people, or the rest of the planet, they don't fare very well on milk at all, and you get a lot of gastric problems from milk as well. So although we're told, drink, we used to have a campaign in Britain, didn't we? Drink a pint of day of milk. You don't need that amount of milk at all. It's just ridiculous. 6
And
slices.
cream, nice full fat cream. Get some full fat cream.
Yeah. It's not that bad for you. Don't stress out about it. To eat fat is not as bad as we've been told. It's actually the elements of fat are quite good for you.
I've been since I've been studying this for about nearly a year now. I've been taking note of my clients because I've been here such a long time. I've had a practice for 16 years here. And some of my clients have been my clients for 15 years, and they are getting a lot elderly now, obviously. And I'm noticing, because we talk about diet sometimes. I know them. I've known them for 15 years. And the ones that have a more old-fashioned diet with fat in it, they're all there. They're not really forgetting things. And that really proves it to me. It's like watching my clients in real life is, yeah,
it's amazing because we went through this period of like where we were told don't eat fat equals fat in your body, you'll put weight on and all that. The thing that puts weight on people is sugar, right? And sugar comes in all sorts of forms. You don't realize it's in a lot of foods. It's in pies and it's in bread, and we don't know where. I mean, rice is packed full of sugar. I know because I've taken readings of my sugar levels when I've eaten like a plate of rice, and they rocket higher than if I'd eaten sugar. Yeah. They're actually sweeter than sugar, if that makes any sense at all. So we're just not
something you might like. If you go into Aldi, they have hazelnut milk. That's quite nice.
Never tried them.
That with a little bit of canned coconut's quite nice if you like a latte or that kind of thing.
I love nuts anyway, so I'm very lucky like that.
I've just stopped using any milk.
You're lactose intolerant, aren't you, Matty?
Yes.
Remember served right.
Which is a bummer because I live next to Solera, which has won the world's best cheese last year, I think.
That's a shame. That is a shame.
Yeah, I'm not intolerant to anything, but I want to make, because what I found, all this like eating without wheat, sugar, and milk, I find it very bland. So my kind of mission is to make nice, tasty food that you want. That crave, like what you crave. Now I made some beautiful truffles the other day, chocolate truffles, just like dark chocolate with canned coconut milk, and they were absolutely delicious. And then some nuts in it, walnuts for your brain. So so what I'm doing now at the moment with my family is making nice menus, and I'm kind of making a recipe book that I could recommend to my clients that have nice recipes, not just, I don't know, I find some of the food a bit boring. Does that resonate with anyone else?
Well, Terence, you did a few videos on some alternatives, certainly, right? Have you still got those knocking about anywhere? Can we possibly share those on the channel sooner or later?
Yes, you're very welcome to. It's a subject that's kind of close to my heart because, as you say, it's food can, if you take this viewpoint, it can be boring. But I don't believe that myself. I think it's a question of like, okay, you get rid of the bread, you get rid of the potatoes, the rice, this, that, and the other. Don't regret it. Go and buy some good quality meat, some good quality fish, right? Enjoy eggs, right? Enjoy your fats and all of that kind of business. And don't deprive yourself because you've got to balance it up. It can't be all torture. And it isn't torture, to be honest with you. I mean, there is a really refreshing, tasty sort of perspective that you get from fresh food and good quality food. I mean, if I eat a steak, I don't feel guilty about it. Like that's really going to punish me because I know there's certain things in red meat that you can't get from anything else. I know it's controversial, and now people are going to be going, "Oh no," but you have to eat these things, to actually, we were meant to eat them. That's how we develop you know, from the Stone Age onwards. We weren't really supposed to eat bread. We weren't. And it's bad news for you, Gaz. I know. We have this running battle. My mum was saying, you know, you should cut the bread out. You know, less bread. And he's going, but I love bread.
Okay, have you got any of a nice little beer belly going on at all, Gary? I can't remember.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
Very
literally, my husband did an experiment last summer, and he just cut out bread and beer, and the inflammation within 2 weeks was incredible.
Really?
Well, I mean, sorry, but your point on inflammation, I'll shut up in a minute, right? I've just got to grab that point. That's what had happened to me. I'd become so inflamed inside. I couldn't even sort of get up off the floor sometimes because I was that sore. And I just couldn't move. I was that inflamed because the advice I was receiving, because I'm on insulin, was, oh, you've got to eat a fair amount of carbohydrate, have half your plate in carbohydrates. And it was killing me. Seriously, it was killing me.
I was going to say, back to the musculoskeletal thing, there's a lot of pain can be just inflammation.
Yes, I found that out too, because I thought I had some rather bad gallstones or something like that, and I actually went to hospital, and I was there for about 10 hours thinking this isn't good. But really, when I work it all out, because I couldn't find gallstones, it was inflammation. It was just inside. You're so inflamed and so sore through the diet that you're eating. Now I don't have those problems now. You know, I feel really invigorated. I know, like, it's like a seminal moment. It's the road to Jerusalem moment. It isn't, but I'm so much better. I can work a lot longer. I've got more energy. Exercise regularly, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Curious enough,
you just said the right word, regularly. Yeah. It's the consistency with things like, someone might go, oh yeah, I did the gym, but it's dropped off, or I did the yoga, it's dropped off. I haven't done it for a month. It's more about if you can just fit 10 or 15 minutes in every week, even if you can't do that full 40 minutes, that's okay. But if you do 10 minutes.
I'll be honest with you, right? I do see the attractive feature of just telling people, well, put 10 minutes in a week, 15 minutes in a week. It's not going to do it, right? You've got to be committed. You've got to go for it, and I'll exercise every night. I'll either go for a massive walk or I'll do some weights. I hate weights. I can't see the point in it, but I'll do it, right? Because I feel better. The other way of being is not an option for me because it was so limiting. So really, I can't see myself changing because I'm absolutely really focused and happy doing what I'm doing. And I feel dancing's great. Yeah. Disco. I love it.
No, that's 100% right. But I'm saying, if people, you're already there, you're doing it, you know what it feels like to be there. I'm talking about people that are struggling to get there. So if they could just motivate themselves an extra 10 minutes every week, so they build up to it, because it can be a lot of changes.
No, I mean, I think I could only find my motivation by thinking I was on my way out, and I really did think that, I'm facing death here because it got that bad for me. And I think that therefore it's easy for me to say, well, I've got a black and white choice, I wish it was that way for a lot of people, because I think then they'd really seriously make their mind up to do it. Because we buy ourselves off thinking, well, I have that pastry there. It won't really matter, will it? And it doesn't really, just one. But, then you have some sugar in your tea or something like that. And then it builds, and you just back off from really what you should be doing. You have to do it. It's just simple. It's just the way it is. We've got to get back to living and having a diet that's good for us, not the modern diet, which is killing us. And our children are developing diabetes, weight problems, dementia very early. I mean, I think in America, it's frightening, really, what's happening to their youngsters, with their diet, and really it needs to change, got to change.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah.
This comment here, taking vitamin C and turmeric can balance the inflammation caused by beer. It's the only wheat I consume. So do I need to take more turmeric with my beer?
That's what we're going to do now, is that we're going to get all of those things and go, right, come on, let's have the beer.
Some congratulations for you then, Terence. Thumbs up. Matty, I've just copied your some of your details. So let me just put that here. That is the website address for you. Is
Yes,
correct?
very, very, very basic website.
Yeah. Well,
there's not too much on it.
You have a presence there, and that's all that matters. But if people want to email you, you can go there. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So if you can do that as well, Aoife, for your contact details, I will do the same.
I think she's busy with it.
I'm doing it now.
One more thing I want to add, and we have a saying in Germany, and I think something similar exists in English as well. But we say, "Wer rastet, der rostet." The closest thing I can think about is use it or lose it in English.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you don't use your body, you will lose it, because our body is one of the most sophisticated machines with the longest development period ever, and the body is optimized to be efficient, and that means anything you use will be built up, gets stronger, gets more flexible, is better to use, and anything you don't use gets stiff, sticky, and shortened and weak. So it's your choice: move it or lose it.
100%. Yeah.
Very good.
Now, just fitting on top of that, right? How do we work stress into this? Because we live in a world of stress. Even here, in our ideal world that we live in, we have a certain amount of stress. Do you guys deal anything along those lines? How do you handle people who come to you particularly stressed? Do you have any advice for them, or do you send them somewhere else?
For me, stress is one of the factors that raises the general muscular tension in the body. It's not the root cause, usually. But if I start to explain that, we need to add another hour to the show.
Very good point.
Yeah. There was something I wanted to say from last week. We talked about fear a little bit.
Yeah.
You remember that? And I wanted something that I've changed, and I think it'd be a really good thing to get this out to a lot of people. Change the fear for faith.
Okay.
Do
you want to expand that a little bit? The thought of that?
Just have faith that everything will be okay, because there's a lot of power in the mind. Yeah, and I'm not going to go into details. I've had a lot of stuff go on this year, very slightly. My daughter's been in hospital. My dog's been in hospital. Lots of little things keep throwing at me. And I keep going, it's going to be all right. Go on, keep throwing it at me. Keep going. I've got the faith. And it does seem to make it a little bit easier. If you're in fear, you're just going around like this, aren't you? And But if you're in faith, you're still getting the stuff. But it's like, okay, all right, this is happening for a reason. I'm not sure what it is, but I've got the faith that there is a reason behind it, and it will be okay. It might not be how I want it to be okay. Does that make sense? Like some of the most terrible things that have happened to me, when I look back in retrospect 5 or 10 years ago, God, if that thing that was a complete nightmare for me at the time when I was in it, when I look back, I go, God, if that hadn't happened, or maybe I might not have met my husband, or maybe I might not have, this might not have happened, or maybe I might not have moved to Portugal. Or so just have the faith. I really wanted to kind of make sure that was said tonight.
Well, that's a very good point, and I totally empathise with that. It's a very important part of your own sort of repair system, your own sort of self-assessment. and a tool you can use, really. Have faith in something, find something to believe in. If it's not yourself, that it is one of those things you just have.
You got to have faith. You got to have faith. Sometimes, like for instance, where I'm saying that you change your diet, and you think to yourself, "Why am I doing this? It's just it's cardboard. I'm eating cardboard here." But if you have faith and the perspective in the long term of where you're going to get to, and fix your eyes on those rewards, you can build faith. But faith is that gap between A to Z, where it gets difficult, and you've just got to have a belief, and you get that belief through faith to say it will get better. It can get better. Things will improve. And you have to keep telling yourself that, because if you don't, you go backwards. This is where a lot of people, when they start trying to lose weight, get kind of stuffed, really, because they lose faith. And I think, like you say, it's very important to keep, believing, even when, you haven't lost those pounds, or, you're not feeling that great. And you think, well, what am I doing this for? It's just to keep the faith and keep going, because it will work. Because it will, and it has to, and it's proven. I mean, I can challenge anybody now, like looking here and on this program and saying, "Oh, go on then. I'm trying to lose weight, but I can't lose weight." Well, do what I've said, and you will lose weight, a drastic amount of weight, if you follow through. If you cheat, you won't lose the weight.
Yeah.
That.
It's the same with the exercises at home or the fitness, and I can tell with some of my regular clients, if they've done their homework or not, and it's very apparent if they have. So.
Yeah, but if you do your homework, the faith is going to come easier because you've done your homework, right? There is a logical side to faith. You know some of the answers, and therefore you think, well, if I follow that route, I will lose the weight. So the research gives you faith as well. So yeah, research, but have faith, because you will get there, but don't cheat.
Right, guys, I'm just going to run through these links again to make sure I've got them right. Healthy Move, that's you, Matty. Yeah, that's your website. And that is your email. Aoife, that is your website.
That's my email.
That's your email, sorry. And that is that your WhatsApp number?
Yeah.
That's your best contact. And where's the other one gone? A lot of button pressing going on here. Hang on a minute. The Art of Unwinding. So that's all you. That's all you guys. So anybody watching this on catch up can stop and take those details down. Now, I've purposely led you to this point about stress, faith, etc., because we've gone over the hour. Believe it or not, we're 13 minutes over the hour. I'm supposed to only be on here for an hour. And again, I've kind of and hard whether to do this, but I'm going to play you out a little video, and it's your homework, right? It's your homework. Everybody watching this, please try this. Please try this, because I spent a long time perfecting this, and it really, really kind of works for me when I'm in times of trouble. But you can alter this and swap it to your own needs. But just watch this. Bear with me for a few minutes, right? But before I do play this, I thank you all very much for joining me tonight. Your comments and your input have been, beyond expectation. Really, we've had a great conversation. So,
Ben's
thank you,
my
guys.
ears off. Yeah.
So, guys, I'm going to play this. Sit back and watch it. Relax. I hope you like it. And I'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
So here I am again, out here in central Portugal, where I live. I feel very blessed to live here, and I'm very happy. I'm sitting by the waterfall in a lovely shaft of sunlight. The world is good. Now the purpose for me making this video is I'd like to build on that with you. Over the past couple of years, I've been working on a little program, exercise, call it what you will, to help connect back to nature, to connect with your instincts, but also to bring in with that the aspects of the world around us, like religion, spirituality, science, astrology, mysticism, and there are very few places where that can actually meet. And I like to think with what I'm doing here, that's kind of where I'm heading. Now we will do a set of body positions, maneuvers, connective thoughts, which involve symbols. So if you think of a cross, obviously has religious symbolism, but was in use a long time before Christianity. If we think about the pentacle, a lot of people get misconstrued ideas about that, but it's a very powerful protective symbol. A circle, an encompassing symbol, and also a pentagon, which is a symbol of the center and safety. So let's use all these in an environment and in an exercise which connects us, brings us in, but also lets us connect with what's on the outside. Try it. I think you might be surprised. Just let go for a while, be part of what's around you, and let what's around you be part of you as well. It sounds a little bit crazy, but I recommend you try it. So come with me, let's try it. So, how do we put all these symbols together? Quite simple, really. Start, get nice and loose. Put your feet together. Take your hands and put them over your heart, your solar plexus area. That's where your energy center is. Take a nice deep breath in. Become aware of all the sounds and the feelings around you. Enjoy the silence. Okay, just get into that zone. Then take your arms and have a good stretch. Make the circle, bring it back in to the chest where we started, center, feel the energy, listen, smell, you can almost taste the environment you're in, feel the slight breeze on your skin. Breathe. Okay, from that position move your arms out to the side to form the cross, the northeast, southwest, earth, air, fire and water. Stay in that position for a while. Again, listen to everything that's around you, absorb it, make it part of you, you become part of it. Listen to the fish behind you which is splashing, the wood pigeon, the little birds in the trees. And then we move to the next position, the 5 points or the pentangle. So we just move from the cross position, feet spread out, arms raised, turn your palms to the sky, lean back a little, and really let it all soak in. Taking what's around you, use it, let it use you, become part of it. Oh, the sound of a heron as well. I'm not here alone. Beautiful. Sometimes you may get a feeling in your palms, a sort of tingling warmth, but really this is a representation of the completion connection, the transfer of energy between you, you're giving out energy, you're taking it in. So really enjoy it, enjoy the moment, because I am. Beautiful. And from that point, go back up to the stretch. Nice deep breath. Make the circle. Bring it all back in. Let it all back out. Bring it back to the center. And just be thankful that you can do this, be here, in your moment, in your heart. Now if that doesn't make you centered and energized, I give up. I don't know what will. But try it. Try it.